welcome to Rose Cooper tonight. As always, I'm the gal whose name's on the logo. Joining us this evening is author Nikolai Laszlo, whose new book, Blood on the Page, Hunting the Literati Killer, hits shelves next week. But it's already stirring up huge amounts of controversy. Nikolai, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Rose. Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure.
So, your book details the crimes that the media has dubbed the Literati Killer, so named on account of his penchant for targeting critics and big players in the publishing industry.
Yes, well, as a writer myself, I was fascinated by this idea of a killer who targets the higher-up members of that exclusive community, so I was very eager to begin my research.
Now, according to your research, the first 3 murders were not initially classified as the act of a serial killer.
That's correct, Rose. In fact, his first victim, C.C. O'Dowd, New York Times literary critic, esteemed literary critic, he was shot 6 times in the chest with a .44 Magnum in his home office. So that was originally categorized as a burglary, which is exactly what it was set up to look like. And it wasn't until much later when renowned essayist Jeffrey Colton was found decapitated, and pages from his seminal essay collection, Snack Time for Mr. Nichols, were found stuffed in his mouth, and that whole head was put in a box and mailed to his publisher. And along with that box, there was a note from the killer claiming his prior victims and promising more to come.
That's interesting. I don't remember that part about the head being in the book or the papers.
Well, that's a benefit of stringent research, I suppose.
I suppose so. Now, one of the main problems that people have with your book is that the Literati Killer is still at large, and many of your colleagues in the true crime writing community have denounced your book at best speculative and exploitative, and at worst damaging to an ongoing investigation.
Okay, well, I take a few issues with that. Exploitative, sure, maybe, but that can be said of any expose about the seedier underbelly of, mankind. Speculative, I take great issue with that, because I have had extremely intimate access to all of the details of this case, and it, I assure you, is very, very thoroughly researched. And as for the claim that I am interfering with some sort of ongoing investigation, I am sure that New York's finest are doing just fine on their own. They are a relentless pack of uniformed bloodhounds. And,
You might not want to say that too loud. The local precinct's right around the corner here.
Miss Cooper. I could drop a corpse on their doorstep, and it would take them 6 days to realize if the son of a bitch was dead or alive.
I'm sorry. Who's dropping this hypothetical corpse?
Well, the Literati Killer is.
Of course.
Of course. Of course. But that's enough about my Freudian slips. Rose, what I am here to do tonight is ensure enthusiasts of true crime fiction that this book that I have written right here is the genuine article. Okay? Now, the Literati Killer is an extremely fascinating hunter of humans, the way he adapts to the environments in which he chooses his victims, his penchant for altering his modus operandi for each given murder that he commits. It's all extremely, extremely impressive.
You see, that statement there pertains to one of the biggest problems that both I and this book's critics have. You don't seem to be analyzing the killer, you just seem to be praising him.
Well, what's not to praise, Rose? The man's work, if you don't mind me saying, is quite literally cutting edge. I mean, take, for instance, victim number 7. That was author Delilah Phillips. She was found in her penthouse apartment, mutilated. She was skinned alive. And the remains of her body, they were just laid all sinewy and bleeding and whatnot on the duvet. Her skin was splattered around the room like wallpaper, everywhere, all of her skin, except for her face. Her face was just pinned to a large vanity mirror right in the middle. Do you see what he was doing there?
Uh-huh.
You don't. You see, Phillips was criticized, widely criticized, for abandoning the kind of whip-smart, satirical writing that had garnered her praise early in her career. She diluted her work and her image, and she allowed herself to become a product, you see.
So he turned her into the product she'd become.
Yes.
Taking her apart and splatting her around like wallpaper.
Yes, Rose, exactly. Yes, and if you ask me, that act alone had more artistic merit than the last 3 entries into Phillips', oh, just that god-awful Mad Diplomats series.
That's a pretty heartless way to view the death of an author and fellow human being.
Well, I understand why you'd say that, Rose, but, you know, nope. Fuck it. Can't.
I'm sorry to break your concentration with the dose of my empathy, Mr. Laszlo, but you know, I have to say, I have interviewed countless writers,
Have you?
artists, activists,
Right.
and you may be the most deplorable guest I've had on yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, and that's my fault, because I thought I was going to be able to do it. I did. I wanted to commit, you know, stay in character, at least till the end of the taping. But, you know, you're just sucking all of the goddamn fun out of it, Rose! Okay? Come on, I mean, you try and do something, build a little suspense, you know. You've been in TV. It's yes and, Rose. You're not giving me anything to work with here. I mean, for fuck's sake, Delilah Phillips was more responsive when I slashed her goddamn lips off.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Left some of the gristle on. Just for you.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Yeah.
This is either the most insane confession or the most tasteless publicity stunt I have ever seen.
You know what? I think a better word for it, Rose, is spectacle. Spectacle. You know what? I got a better one. It's a rebirth.
What the fuck? Can you please stop being all cryptic and weird and explain to me why there is a blood-splattered knife on my fucking table?
Rose, the language.
Yeah, come on, Rose. What are you doing? Watch the language.
The language. I'm sorry, I got a psycho writer throwing blood-splattered fucking knives around my set. I will
Kids
curse
watching.
all I want. Work for morons. Can someone please call the cops? That'd be great, thanks.
Hey, guy, you don't have to call the cops.
No, call the cops.
No, you're not going to need them. They're not going to be able to help.
Is that a threat?
No. It was an invitation to the senior prom. I was asking you to prom. It was a threat, yes. God-forsaken moron. It was a threat. Jesus.
Who are you? I mean, is Nikolai Laszlo even your real name?
Well, I go by many names, Rose. Sure. Nikolai Laszlo was one of them. And it was just as true as any of the others. But I am in a constant state of evolution, you see. And I've realized that my time as the literati killer, though fulfilling, has come to an end, and I need to rebuild the entire machine from scratch, starting over.
So your book, it's not a piece of research,
No.
it's a memoir.
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas, Phillips, all of them, they were all your victims.
Oh, you bet. Yes, Rose. Now we are on the same goddamn page. That was me. I did that. Camera 2, buddy, do me a favor. Just start a slow zoom in on me. Yeah, you. Rose, we're about to make some real deal TV magic here. And I want the camera movement to be a reflection upon that. So yeah, pal, come on.
Oh,
Right
no.
up.
No, you're not actually
Yeah.
taking his direction, are you? Are you?
Actually are, buddy.
This is still
Come
my
on.
show.
Mom and Dad paid good money for film school. Let's make them proud.
This is bullshit.
Rose, take a powder. Do whatever you like.
You're fired when this is
I got
over.
it from here for a bit. I committed my first murder my freshman year of college. I was attending a frat house party with my friend Erica Sanchez. She spent the entire night speaking to this frat boy, just this testosterone oozing mound of shit. And after a while, they made off for his bedroom. And I followed along, mostly out of voyeuristic intent, but partially out of concern for my friend, 60-40. Anyway, I was peeking through the door, and he'd left it open, a moron. And he had her on the bed. He was on top of her, kissing her. And I realized after a bit that the sound she was making was not one of pleasure, but of fear. And she was writhing underneath him, trying to get away, and her cries were being muffled. So I burst into the room, and in the confusion, I managed to get on top of him, and I got my hands around his head, and I just pushed his eyeballs into his skull with my thumbs, my own 2 thumbs. Look at him. And I got my hands around his neck next, and I throttled him. And it was not easy. This was a big neck, ropey, muscular. And I strangled until I couldn't anymore, until I heard this noise, this like rattle, like a death rattle. And I gotta tell you, after all these years, I think that's the thing that kept me coming back for more. It's truly exhilarating, I assure you. Anyhow, in all of that frenzy, I'd forgotten about Erica, who was now in the corner of the room, staring at me in a cold shock. I reached over to her to reassure her, to let her know that she was safe now, and everything was going to be okay, but she was too shocked by my brutality to realize what I had done was necessary, and she recoiled. She screamed, and a moment came over me of radical self-preservation, and I realized that I had to silence her as well. And I strangled her. And I just left him there. I don't know how long it took for anyone to find them, but that was the first one. And I revisited Rose every day, in the recesses of my mind. I can't help but think about it. I don't know.
Okay, that's great and everything, but why reveal yourself? Why here now? Why?
I don't know, Rose. Why not? It's always why, isn't it? Why isn't it ever why not?
Oh, for
hey,
fuck's sake.
what? Oh, yeah.
Where did you even get that?
I'll show you.
Seriously?
Isn't that neat?
Seriously? No one took a long enough look at this guy
Rose.
to notice the holstered
Rose.
firearm on his leg.
Rose!
What's wrong with you?
Rose! In all of your mania, Rose, you are neglecting to see the key element that this whole new wrinkle in the story presents. You, all of you, get to bear witness to my death and resurrection.
Oh, is this a metamorphosis? Are you going to merge a cocoon to be a murder butterfly?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are those cops? It appears our producers are unavailable.
They've been disposed of, Rose.
By who?
They have people. Hey, fellas! Thanks for being here. As always, your timing is impeccable and professionalism unparalleled. Rose, say hi to the boys. That's Dr. Hammer. This is Casey. And here's the thing you got to understand about modern serial killers. We have unionized, and no, you don't. Nope. Ask me another question, Rose.
What are you going to do to us?
Easy day. Hey, guys, simmer down. Hey. It's a very good question, Rose. As I said earlier, I'm all through being the literati killer. I've decided to move on to glitzier and brighter pastures, and I'm going to start by killing TV personalities.
You're going to start with us?
Yes, Rose, yes, I am. This is the perfect place for me to begin my assault on those who live off of the glass teat. I'm going to teach the world true fear in 1080 HD. Also, I've always wanted to be in pictures. And matter of fact, I brought a clip for my latest project. Who wants to see that clip? You guys want to see that clip? Rose, would you like to see the clip?
Will we still be here when the clip ends?
Roll clip.
Monsters do have their place.
Maschinennet. Nein! Ja, deshalb noch ohne dich!
It can start in many ways, at a party, in the secrecy of a dirty room. That's how your third act began.
It is a true insect. It is a true insect. It is a true insect.
Tell me in a sentence who you are.
Nobody. I'm nobody. Nobody.
Well, that was a wild night, I think. Hope you enjoyed our show. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the preceding montage that took a lot of hard work and some meticulous cutting. Was pun intended on that. I'm afraid it's time for me to bid you all good night, but don't you worry. You have not seen the last of me or my kind. We are the deviant smile in a child's face. We are the angry twinge in your co-worker's eye. We are everywhere. And one of these days, we're going to come for you. Good night and good luck. Stay tuned for Terror TV. I'll be watching.